Hello everyone. Fantasy. It's a genre that pretty much grants a free-for-all to creativity in media. With anime, that majority of series could be considered as fantasy with how they bring viewers into another world. Whether it be from presenting a world where monsters exist, or a grand fantasy adventure, there are so many types with a lot to pick from. One popular theme of fantasy these days is the Isekai theme. Basically it brings a character from a normal world to a fantasy world by summoning or otherwise. And it's just one of many popular choices for a modern fantasy series. In this video I will show you top 10 magic fantasy anime where main character is overpowered. Before I start the video, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So let's start the ranking. Number 10. Aesthetica of the Rogue Hero. Since the discovery of Simon Syndrome 30 years ago, thousands of young people have traveled to fantasy worlds, the few returnees managing to keep the special abilities they acquired in those parallel universes. Akatsuki Aozawa, known as the Rogue Hero, discards his peaceful life in the fantasy world lasered to face new challenges upon returning to Earth. He comes back with Miu, the daughter of the demon king he defeated, and is now forced to hide her true identity by having her pose as his little sister. The two soon join Babel, a special school designed for those who have acquired special abilities and magical powers through their journey to a fantasy world. Babel was seemingly founded to train young interdimensional travelers and guide them to the right path for the sake of humanity and themselves, but its true purpose remains unclear to the pseudo-siblings. Will Akatsuki and Miu be able to overcome the hostile, powerful student council and uncover the forces at play behind the scenes? Number 9. The Testament of Sister New Devil. Running into your new stepsister in the bathroom is not the best way to make a good first impression, which Basaratuju learns the hard way. When his father suddenly brings home two beautiful girls and introduces them as his new siblings, he has no choice but to accept into his family the Naru sisters, busty redhead Mio and petite silver-haired Maria. But when these seemingly normal girls reveal themselves as demons, Mio the former demon lord's only daughter and Maria her trusted succubus servant, Basara is forced to reveal himself as a former member of a clan of heroes, sworn enemies of the demons. However, having begun to care for his new sisters, Basara instead decides to protect them with his powers and forms a master-servant contract with Mio to keep watch over her. With the heroes observing his every move and the constant threat of hostile demons, Basara has to do the impossible to protect his new family members. Moreover, the protector himself is hiding his own dark secret that still haunts him to this day. Number 8. World Break, Aria of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. Seiken Tsukaino World Break takes place at a private academy where students who possess memories of their previous lives are being trained to use ancestral arts so that they can serve as defenders against monsters, called metaphysicals, who randomly attack. Known as saviors, the students are broken up into two categories, the Kurogane who are able to use their prana to summon offensive weapons and the Kuroma who are able to use magic. The story begins 6 months prior to the major climax of the series during the opening ceremonies on the first day of the school year. After the ceremony is over, the main character, Maroa Haimura, meets a girl named Satsuki Ranju who reveals that she was Maroa's little sister in a past life where Maroa was a heroic prince capable of slaying entire armies with his sword skills. Soon afterwards he meets another girl, Shizuo Rushibara, who eventually reveals that she also knew Maroa in an entirely different past life where he was a Dark Lord capable of using destructive magic but saved her from a life of slavery. Can those whose minds live in both the present and the past truly reach a bright future? Delve into the complex world of Seiken Tsukaino World Break to find out. Number 7. Plunderer. Elsha is a world governed by count numbers engraved on a person's body, representing any number related to their life. These counts determine a person's social status and power in Alsha. If a count reaches 0, the person is sent to the abyss, a place rumored to be worse than death. Hina, a traveler whose count is based on the distance she traveled, witnessed her mother get dragged down into the abyss. Determined to fulfill her mother's last wishes, she sets off on a journey in search of the legendary Aces, heroes of the war that happened 300 years ago, bearing a white star next to their count. While wandering around, Hina encounters Lichtbach, a mysterious masked man with negative count, and Nana, the owner of a tavern. In the midst of having a good time, Hina is tricked into a battle with a military soldier. However, despite his negative count, Licht rescues Hina and reveals that he has another count, one with a white star, one of a legendary ace. Plunderer follows the journey of Hina and other inhabitants of Alsha as they discover the truth about their world, the Abyss, and the legendary aces. Number 6. Demon King Daimao. Dreaming of changing the world for good, Akuto Sai transfers to Constant Magic Academy where he befriends a virtuous ninja clan member, Junko Hattori. On the way to the academy, they vow to make the world a better place together. However, the situation suddenly takes a turn for the worse. Upon his arrival, it is prophesied that he will become the Demon King. As word of his destiny spreads, the school begins to fear him, and Junko's trust in him falters. While Akuto is determined to not let his predicted future control his fate, it seems as though everything he says and does only serve to reinforce the fact that he is destined to be the Demon King. Moreover, he is surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls who each have their own plans for him, ranging from bringing him to justice to simply showering him with love. With his newly awakened powers, Akuto must cope with his constantly growing list of misfortune and fight to prove that his fate is not set in stone. Number 5. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Ise Oisakamaki, Asuka Kudo, and Yukasuke are extraordinary teenagers who are blessed with psychic powers but completely fed up with their disproportionately mundane lives, until, unexpectedly, each of them receives a strange envelope containing an invitation to a mysterious place known as Little Garden. Inexplicably dropped into a vast new world, the trio is greeted by Kuraosagi, who explains that they have been given a once-in-a-lifetime chance to participate in special high-stakes games using their abilities. In order to take part, however, they must first join a community. Learning that Kuraosagi's community No Names has lost its official status and bountiful land due to their defeat at the hands of a demon lord, the group sets off to help reclaim their new home's dignity, eager to protect its residents and explore the excitement that Little Garden has to offer. Number 4. No Game No Life. No Game No Life is a surreal comedy that follows Sora and Shiro, shut-in neat siblings and the online gamer duo behind the legendary username Blank. They view the real world as just another lousy game. However, a strange email challenging them to a chess match changes everything. The brother and sister are plunged into another worldly realm where they meet Tet, the god of games. The mysterious god welcomes Sora and Shiro to Disport, a world where all forms of conflict, from petty squabbles to the fate of whole countries, are settled not through war, but by way of high-stake games. This system works thanks to a fundamental rule wherein each party must wager something they deem to be of equal value to the other party's wager. In this strange land where the very idea of humanity is reduced to child's play, the indifferent genius gamer duo of Sora and Shiro have finally found a real reason to keep playing games, to unite the 16 races of Disport, defeat Tet, and become the gods of this new, gaming is everything world. Number 3. Log Horizon. In the blink of an eye, 30,000 bewildered Japanese gamers are whisked from their everyday lives into the world of the popular _spell_merc_elder tale, after the game's latest update, unable to log out. Among them is the socially awkward college student Shiro, whose confusion and shock lasts only a moment. As a veteran of the game, he immediately sets out to explore the limits of his new reality. Shiro must learn to live in this new world, leading others and negotiating with the NPC natives in order to bring stability to the virtual city of Akihabara. He is joined by his unfortunate friend Natsugu, having logged in for the first time in years only to find himself trapped, and Akatsuki, a petite but fierce assassin who labels Shiro as her master. A tale of fantasy, adventure, and politics, Log Horizon explores the elements of gaming through the eyes of a master strategist who attempts to make the best of a puzzling situation. Number 2. Campione. Some people suddenly find religion, but for 16-year-old Kuzenagi Godu, it's that really old-time religion that's found him. As the result of defeating the god of war in Mortal Kombat, Godu's stuck with the unwanted position of Campione, or God Slayer, whose duty is to fight heretical gods whenever they try to muscle in on the local turf. Not only is this likely to make Godu roadkill on the highway to heaven, it's also a job that comes with a lot of other problems. Like how to deal with the fact that his enhanced status is attracting a bevy of overly worshipy female followers. After all, they're just there to aid him in his demi-godly duties, right? So why is it that their leader, the demonically manipulative sword mistress Erika Blandi, seems to have such a devilish interest in encouraging some very unorthodox activities? Get ready for immortal affairs, heavenly harems and lots of dueling deities taking pious in the face as the ultimate smash, bash and thrash of the Titans rocks both heaven and earth. And number 1. We have Isekai Cheat Magician. Regular high schooler Taiki Nishimura and his childhood friend, Rin Azuma, are on their way to school one ordinary morning. Suddenly, a glowing light envelops them, transporting them to a fantasy world full of magical creatures. Upon their arrival, Taiki and Rin are threatened by a beast. They are promptly saved by a group of adventurers, who advise the pair that traveling unarmed and inexperienced makes them vulnerable to the recently increasing monster attacks. Taiki and Rin are directed to the guild, where they can determine their magical aptitude and register as adventurers. However, the test they take reveals an unprecedented result. Taiki and Rin possess extraordinary powers that far surpass the standard mage, instantly transforming them from typical high school students to the ultimate cheat magicians. Taiki and Rin learn to grasp the full extent of their powers and familiarize themselves with their new world. However, while the duo seeks to uncover the reason behind their transportation and a possible way back to their original world, unexpected trouble lurks in the shadows.